Hey everybody, hello. Now, I've no idea who will be available at this time. We never go this early in the afternoon. Here in the UK, it is currently 3:15 in the afternoon on a Tuesday afternoon. Now, most of the people that view our channel usually seem to be America and other countries. It seems to be a little bit more Europe and America. So yeah, time differences and such, time zones and things. So if nobody watches this as I'm live, it doesn't matter, because once this is no longer live, it will be a viewable video anyway. I'm going to try and keep this. If nobody comes in and starts chatting in the chat, which obviously if people see this as I'm live, they're more than welcome to chat in the chat box there, and I will almost certainly, stay around or stick around for a little bit longer. But I'm going to try and keep this within max of half an hour. If nobody gets involved or starts chatting, then I will try and keep it within the half an hour mark, so it's a little bit more watchable. As you can see, I am on my own. This is like a completely spontaneous thing. I've noticed it has been a little bit again since the last live stream I did with my good friend and co-host Sam. So the reason why I'm doing this is I want to talk about the chapter 5, or the newest chapter for teaser that has just been announced. I'm going to try and see if I can put it in the stream. The last time I did something like this, we got a massive bad copyright strike. Now, we have done teasers and trailers before in the past, and we've never had a problem per se with copyright. So I'm hoping that won't be a problem. This is just a teaser, by the way. So before we get into that, I just want to say spoiler warning. So if anybody out there that watches us that are a little bit behind, or are watching this, or start watching this, or watch this as a video once I'm no longer live, then spoiler warning, because end of the day, I don't want to spoil what is possibly to come, or whatever is mentioned in this teaser. Now, what is interesting is that this year it will be the end of G5 for the Make Your Mark side of the story. I believe Tell Your Tale will be continuing for at least another year, until up to 2024. So Tell Your Tale's going to live a little bit longer, for at least another year, maybe about a year. But Make Your Mark, as we know it, will be finishing this year. So we're getting one more chapter, and I believe one more special. I believe there's still one more special yet to be aired or streamed. And so we've got a special and also the final chapter. Now, it's a little bit strange, because me and my fellow co-host Sam, we have had a few conversations about G5, and the fact that the announcement has come of G5 finishing, and this year will be that it will be just 5 chapters and a movie and 4 specials. That is the run. Now, the fact is that with the last chapter, it started to go a little bit more story driven, and started to go in a direction that I was a little bit more happier with personally, and also Sam was a little bit happier as well, because basically, spoilers again, spoiler warning before I go any further. If you remember, in chapter 4, the final episode, basically, Opaline and Sunny had a bout. They had a fight, and the little baby dragon, he got kidnapped by Misty, and was taken to Opaline, and she proceeded to try and take the dragon magic power from him, in order to try and bring her magic ability back, and to make her strong again. And it actually was much more darker than most of what we've seen, even though the movie was relatively quite well balanced. If I remember, the G5 film was pretty balanced. It had comedy moments, it had fun moments, it had sad moments, and it had pretty dark moments, because at the end it gets a little bit quite. It doesn't go really dark, but it's got that mix of emotions and feelings. And then when the series started, it seemed to kind of like go away from that seriousness, and it was pretty much just like watching the first 3 seasons of G4, in my opinion, where they were much more grounded. They were much more grounded, and it was a little bit more carefree, and it wasn't as because obviously after season 3 of G4, the story started to get a little bit more mature. There was more. They started to introduce more mature themes from season 4 onwards. Started putting pop culture references in there. Because they noticed there was an older demographic watching the show at the time, which they were surprised about, and there was actually quite a lot of young lads, young boys, watching it, as well as young girls. And so they started to kind of mix it up a bit and start to kind of introduce stuff that would interest young boys and also those that were a bit older. And now G5, for me, I feel has tried to capture that essence a little bit with, like, in the background you might see a poster that is kind of like a parody of a film like Terminator or something. And then there's obviously the idea of technology in G5, where they all have smartphones and laptops and tablets, and things of that nature, which is something that we don't see as much at all, pretty much, in G4. So G5 very much was more centered towards the modern demographic of kids today, where the whole idea of tablets and phones and social media and YouTube and streaming and things of that nature. So that side of things would kind of like capture the way of today, bits pretty much. So they tried to capture modern day in real life as well as in the show. But unfortunately, it seems it hasn't really struck much of a chord with the fan base as much as G4 did, which I'm not surprised. I personally quite enjoyed G5 for what it was. I actually quite enjoyed it. Yes, I wish they would have kind of introduced or tried to kind of like move forward a bit sooner with the story, where the whole thing with Misty, I think they could have quite easily have rectified the whole thing with Misty probably a bit sooner, and then probably the latter two chapters, chapter 4 and chapter 5, would have been more centered around maybe, I don't know, going outside more of the mysteries of Twilight's diary, or the the elements of harmony. It could have gone into certain things of that nature. They could have really delved into it, but it seems that it's not been cancelled. They have just decided to finish it on chapter 5 with they've decided to finish it on chapter 5, and they just decided to finish it on chapter 5 with 4 specials. I think there's still one more special yet to stream, so I don't know whether the special will air first or after the chapter 5. I don't know, or during. I don't know. But we have had a holiday special. We've had very recently we had the music festival special. So we've had about 3. Yeah, we had the Winter Wish Day one as well, which was essentially the Christmas one. So I think we've had about 3 specials. There was the special after the movie as well. So there was the movie, then there was the special, which was kind of like to link up the events of the movie to the beginning of the series. And then the series started, and then we had the Winter Wish Day, then we had the essentially the music festival one, which was very recently. So we still have one more special, and then one more chapter 5. So what I'm going to do now is I've been talking now for over 9 minutes, nearly 10 minutes. So I'm going to kind of give it a watch, try and watch the teaser, because this is the first time I've watched it. I haven't watched it before, so this is the first time I'm watching it, as well as maybe other people. So I'm going to watch the teaser and I'm going to kind of do a little thoughts on that, and then move on with what else I want to talk about in this video as well. So let's do this thing. Let me get hold of. So I've got it all loaded up on Equestria Daily. So it went up on Equestria Daily. So let's do this thing. Okay. So this is the article on Equestria Daily. It says a clip from My Little Pony Make Your Mark Chapter 5 released. So again, before I head off, carry on or press play, I just want to say spoiler warning. Okay. So you've been warned about 3 times. So it's on YouTube. So no doubt other people have already made videos talking about this trailer. So if I end up getting copyright striked during a stream, then okay, it's one of those things. I'll just have to delete it. Simple as. But I've done the movie trailer. I've done my thoughts on the movie trailer. I've done my thoughts on all the special teaser trailers as well. So I've never had a problem with the teasers or the trailers for stuff. Only full episodes. If I've tried to do like a full episode, I've had a massive problem with that. So hopefully I should be okay. But here we go then. Hopefully you will hear it as well. If there is audio problems when I press play, then I apologize. I can't do much about it. Because sometimes it captures the audio, and then other times it won't capture the audio. So sometimes it will literally just be silence. Hopefully that won't be the case this time around, but we will see. So without further ado, let's do it. Okay, so here we go then. So it's 3 minutes 32, and it says Misty's Cutie Mark debut. Make your mark. So here we go then.
My angels, you've arrived! I was so worried. I nearly had to send Cloudpuff to track you down again. I'm thrilled to have you here, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm a teensy bit stressed. A problem.
So yeah, so far as we see, Misty is finally part of the crew in this. So it looks like maybe she has finally decided to escape, or she like we see at the end of chapter 4. At the end of chapter 4, basically she kind of joins or becomes friends properly with Sunny and the rest. And Misty sort of like pretends she kind of stays back at the castle and kind of still kind of puts up the front to Opaline, as if she is still with her. So it looks like seeing Misty with Misty there is kind of interesting. Whether she's still putting up the front for Opaline, or whether she's finally decided to leave, we will find out. But that's interesting.
Problem with the crystals again? Oh, stars no. It's just spring showers. But if it rains, then everything will be ruined.
I can most certainly help with that.
Me too. We're problem-solving pros.
Really? You do that for me?
Of course. We promise to make sure this event runs seamlessly and that everything is as right as rain. Or not rain, in this case.
Oh, thank goodness. Follow me. Here you'll find our giant springtime floral arrangements.
Alright, so I've got to be careful with music and things of that nature, so I am going to try and skip, not skip, but I'm going to pause it a few times, so because I know music is a problem.
As well as our baby duck nursery. Oh, and our Zephyr Bites appetizers. Clever, huh? I didn't come up with that one. Cloudpuff did. What do you...
I've been read. Oh, I thought I had a notification then from YouTube, but I haven't. So I think we're okay to continue.
You think, girls? I am devoted to making this the best Cutie Blossom Bash ever, especially for your darling new friend, Misty. Guards, prepare for Misty's Cutie Mark debut. This is going to be one fun-packed, pony-filled social event. Yes!
So that's interesting. So it looks like she is finally, and they're actually going to be showing her debut for a cutie mark, and it looks like she is finally part of the crew, which is nice. Obviously, this is something obvious. This was going to happen. A lot of people said she's going to become the next member of the crew. It's just bittersweet and unfortunate, in my opinion, really, that it's going to finish on chapter 5. In my opinion, it really needed to have at least another 6th chapter or a little bit more time to grow the story. So yeah, but if it says make your mark, MLP make your mark, Misty's Cutie Mark debut. Now I'm wondering if this is actually the final special, because it's not actually. I mean, obviously it is part of chapter 5. But unless this is just the title of the episode for chapter 5, I don't know. But like I said, there is a special, so this could either be a special, which is more actually a story-driven special, or this is actually one of the episodes. But I'm guessing it's obviously an episode title. So we'll carry on.
Yeah. You're gonna be so great. This is fun.
Yay! Come on, Misty.
I'm going to pause. I'm going to mute the music as I continue. Poor Misty.
Brighter, don't you think, Dad?
You're so right, Mom.
Hey, is something bothering you?
Oh, I'm just worried about what's going on back home. I mean, back at Opaline's.
Oh, we understand.
Luckily, we have more Cutie Blossom activities that focus entirely on you. That should get your mind off it. Help me with the baskets.
Okay, so I was lying a little about what's bothering me, but it's sort of true. Opaline probably knows I'm gone and is already plotting her evil revenge
so that
against me.
confirms she's still putting up the front.
No, how is this possible?
So that, yeah. So, yeah. Annoying. Yeah, so it looks like she is still putting up the front. So this is obviously continuation of obviously what happened in the events of chapter 4. The events of chapter 4. So because at first it kind of threw me, but that obviously concretes the thing that she is still living with Opaline. She's still trying to kind of fool Opaline and go along with whatever it is she's on about, but yet she's not with her properly anymore. She's now with Sunny and her friends, so she is still putting up the front with Opaline, which makes a little bit of sense.
She's missing. Gertrude! Where are you, Gertrude? My favorite main brush. She's so precious to me. I must find her.
Mom, look at me. If I sing to the tree, Mom, will it grow faster?
Oh, there's an idea. Let's try, shall we? I remember your Cutie Blossom Bash like it was yesterday.
I just want to pick them up and squeeze them.
We were so cute.
You still are.
What's up, Misty? It's just that most ponies get their cutie marks when they're young, because that's when the magic of their personality and their luminescence starts to shine. But because of Opaline, I never got to shine until now. That means not only will I be in front of every pony, but I'm gonna be the oldest pony here.
Alrighty, Zip. Perimeter checked. The throne room looks airtight and safe from rain.
That's great, Sheriff, but what about...
The fact that the Blossom Bashers will have to trot outside to get from the palace to the stage, potentially ruining their perfect outfits in the petals and downpour?
Yeah.
We need rain boots and umbrellas and fast.
And there we have it. So that's that. Yeah. So there we go. There we go. So let's see if it actually says anything more about in the article about anything. So it says Hasbro decided to suddenly drop a clip from the upcoming My Little Pony Make Your Mark episode. So it is one of the episodes. My apologies. So this is going to be an episode of Chapter 5. The video is 3.5 minutes long, as we saw. It says Misty's new main look basically isn't a spoiler at this point and has been shown in merchandise, social media posts, and almost everything else. It was supposed to first appear in the episode that this clip is from, and then they just showed it in Tell Your Tale first. I still have no idea why they decided to release the episode along with the rest of Chapter 4 like they originally intended to. Hasbro hasn't entered this episode into YouTube's content ID system yet, so we don't know what it's called yet. Okay, so we don't know what the official title is. So this is just a work title, I guess. The episode is going to be released on Netflix in September, so this is going to be released in September with the rest of Chapter 5. So there's that. So is there anything else? Is there anything else that we can talk about in this? Let's go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back out of this while I look. There we go. So while I have a quick look and see if there's anything to talk about. Interesting. There's a role-playing game coming out in the Jam. Interesting. I know my fellow co-host Sam, he did mention about something that was on Equestria Daily. I don't know how far back I have to go for this, but well, I'll see if anything crops up that's interesting. I can't find anything. I've gone back a fair bit, at least a week here, but if there's nothing of main interest, and I mean, mostly it was just talking about the mostly with the teaser for Chapter 5 episode. I might have to look into the comic books at some point as well, because I know obviously there's a comic book series with G5, so I don't know whether it's worth a watch, worth a read. I might have to see if I can pick some up, see what they're like. So yeah, on July 15th, so obviously that would have happened literally a couple of days ago. More episodes of Tell Your Tale went up on Netflix. So I'm gonna have to start once it's pretty much caught up to what's going to happen for next year. So there's up to 40 episodes up on Netflix at the moment. Right, so I'm probably about where I need to be now. If there is anything, go one more page and see. I don't think there is. There's a lot of stuff going on for the 40th anniversary, so it looks like they're doing a special 40th anniversary comic book and all sorts of events in celebration for 40th anniversary of My Little Pony, which is cool. Yeah, looks like we're going to get special released download links, variants, different variant comic book covers and things. Yeah, I think I can't remember now, but something was mentioned by my co-host that I'm trying to find, and I can't find it. So it's probably maybe something that was on YouTube. Maybe. Yeah, so I'm gonna just not bother. 2 people watching. Hello. All right, so yeah, so that was the point, was to talk about the chapter 5 teaser of like the first 3.5 minutes of one of the episodes. So yeah, so my thoughts on that. It's interesting. It's good to finally see Misty, as you see what happens in the ending of chapter 4. Chapter 4 basically, Sunny and Apolline finally have a fight, and they finally rescue the baby dragon, and Misty finally gets her cutie mark. So chapter 5 quite obviously is continuing on from that, and so it looks like she is still working at this point in chapter 5. She is still working, or she is still essentially alluding to the fact that she is with Apolline, but she isn't. She's now with Sunny and her friends. She is now essentially moved and become friends with she's now become friends with Sunny and everybody. So it's going to be interesting what's going to go forward, because let me. Oops. So what is interesting about what is interesting about what is kind of interesting about I can't get my words out. What is interesting about this chapter 5 is that Starlight, it's kind of like the Diary of Starlight Glimmer or something. So what is interesting is that there's a lot of speculation on YouTube at the moment of will we actually see Starlight Glimmer. Now the fact is, I'd be very surprised if we actually see her physically in chapter 5. I think it could be probably like a recording like we see with Twilight, if anything. Mostly because we don't exactly know what happened to Starlight Glimmer after in G4. She was present at the coronation of Twilight, but yet she was still a normal pony. She didn't become. I don't think she. I can't remember now. Was she? I think she was just an did she become an alicorn? I can't quite remember now. So I don't know if she has actually acquired what Twilight became, which was an alicorn princess, which means she would, of course, have a longer lifespan. Twilight, most likely in G5, will still be alive. I mean, it makes sense, unless she was defeated in a fight with someone. But yeah, Twilight should still be alive. Twilight should still be alive because obviously she is an Alicorn princess, which means they have a much longer lifespan. We also find out in Chapter 4 that Opoly knew Celestia and Luna, which means she is ancient. She would have to be about the same age as Celestia and Luna, so she must be thousands of years old. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they'll just my speculation with what could happen in Chapter 5 with the idea of that in the title it's Starlight Glimmer is actually being mentioned. Or something. You see, the Legend of Starlight Glimmer or something like that. I apologize. I'm trying to find the actual title of it, but for some goddamn reason, I can't find the fucking thing. Oh, right. So yes. Okay. So I've just found out we're actually getting a volume 6. Now, I was under the impression that Chapter 5 would be the final one. But I've just literally found out September 18th, 2023 is when obviously so I'm just finding out now. So September 18th, 2023 is when we're going to get basically alongside the special, which was the Bridal Woodstock, which came out recently. So yeah, basically the 5th chapter is slated for release on September the 18th, 2023. And then there's going to be a 6th and final chapter, which is slated for November 23rd, 2023. So we are actually getting 6 chapters. I was under the impression it was 5th chapter and a special, and then that was it. But looks like we are actually getting a 6th chapter, according to that. So yes. Right, okay. So it looks like we're actually getting 6 chapters in total but it's all going to finish this year. So unfortunately G5 will be coming to an end this year in November. So it's all going to finish and come to an end in November. Around about my birthday as well. My birthday's on the 28th, so it's like the week before my birthday. So that's going to be both a cool thing and a bittersweet thing. Now, unfortunately, as I was alluding to at the beginning of this stream, or beginning of when I started, it's one of those things is that, it's one of those things that, unfortunately, it seems G5 hasn't had the impact with the fans. Now, I can understand probably why. I mean, I think some fans have enjoyed G5. I haven't seen many criticizing comments online about G5. I've seen some people say that it just doesn't compare to G4, Friendship is Magic, which I completely understand. For me, G4 is the best one for me. I've tried to watch stuff before G4, like G3 and so on, original, and I just cannot get my head around watching any of that. I just can't. So G4 was the first and only series I watched from beginning to end. and G4 had, you know, it captured the imaginations of many people, musicians, artists, everything. And, you know, it captured a lot of people's imaginations, and it did a great job of captivating the wide audience demographic that was watching the show at the time. So, you know, you had, you know, young kids that were like maybe like preschool or in primary school, like very, very young children between the ages of, say, about maybe 4 and 6 watching it. And then you had all the way up to people that were in their teens to adulthood. And it was quite a wide demographic that was watching the show. So after season 3, the show started to kind of go down in different, it kind of became a little bit more mature. So from season 4 onwards, it started to change, and it became not as grounded, and it became more mature, and they started introducing stuff and you know, really kind of going quite dark at points, and then still keeping the spirit of what MLP is. And they did a really good job with that as a whole, even though unfortunately some people aren't very happy with the latter couple seasons. But yet for me as a whole, I think they did a good job. But with G5, I don't, I mean, obviously G5 is meant to be, is trying to be its own thing, but yet it's still within the canon, it's still within the time, well, it's still within G4. So G5 for me, I just see it more as a continuation, but more it's a future thing. You know, it's so many years in the future, and a lot. You know, it's kind of like life after what happened after G4, and it's basically seeing everything's more technologically advanced. You know, they're all using tablets, they're all streaming, they're using phones, all that kind of jazz, which is something you don't see as much in G4 at all. And, you know, the world is just a lot more evolved. And there, obviously, we see at the beginning with the movie that all the different races, pony races, were split, and they kind of never really, you know, there was like this problem of trust and prejudice going around, which is unfortunate. And then obviously throughout the movie, and as we see as the series has gone on, that the different races, pony races, all came back together, and they're all now one again and get on with each other. So that was pretty much basically G5 for me has been a lot more of a simpler thing, much more simpler, much more grounded. It has tried to kind of capture the essence of bringing in certain pop culture topics that older demographics will understand. You know, like in the movie, you have movie posters with Terminator and Jaws and things of that nature that only certain people of a certain age will probably understand. But with the series, it's almost as if they kind of like changed things a lot. Like setting out now, there was now when the movie came out, like the character Hitch, he kind of, what can I say? You know, a lot of people gravitated towards Hitch as in the movie, thought he was a good character, really liked him as a character. And then when the series started, a lot of people noticed that there was kind of a bit of a change with Hitch, and he became less the pet like the pony he was in the movie, and become a lot more watered down, and he didn't seem the same character. And I agree with that. It's almost as if now the other characters seem to pretty much kind of be exactly the same as they were in the movie, but Hitch has been changed quite considerably between the two, the movie and the series. So that caused some concern for people. And the fact is that nothing seemed to really happen in the story. You know, you had a couple of pretty much, oh my God, points where you see like the holographic projection of Twilight with the message, you know, when they got the lantern, when they got the artifact and everything, which was a pretty cool moment. But there hasn't been as many standout moments in G5 as there was in G4. But with this final 2 chapters, chapter 5 and chapter 6, which obviously we're going to chapter 5 comes out, obviously, or the next chapter comes out in September, 28th of September, and then obviously we've got a chapter 6 which comes out in November, and then that's going to be it. So 2023 is going to be finished for the Make Your Mark side of it, and then obviously, like I said at the beginning of this, Tell Your Tale will continue for another year. So Tell Your Tale is going to continue, has been extended up to 2024. But yes, so before I finish, I wanted to just announce something. I've gone over a little bit longer. I've about a good 10 minutes of what I originally was going to do up for about half an hour, but it doesn't matter. But yes, so basically, there's an announcement that I want to make. I've not had a chance to do it, and I thought I'll do it today, get it all out there. But UK Ponycon, it's basically the UK's equivalent to majority of the conventions in America. So basically, UK Ponycon is going to be happening for me for the first time. It's going to be the third time for my co-host Sam and our mutual friend Lawrence. So it's going to be the third year on the trot for them, but it's going to be my first year this year. Now, it's something I've been wanting to go to for a bit, but unfortunately, life has gotten in the way. So I'm going to bring it up so people can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me share the screen. So UK Ponycon. Get rid of that. UK Ponycon 2023 is going to be happening on Saturday the 30th to the 1st of October, and it's in Nottingham in the United Kingdom. UK Ponycon is a weekend-long celebration for all fans of My Little Pony, featuring stalls, special guests, and packed events program. So yes, so I will be going along to this. So it's Europe's longest-running MLP convention. So yes, so I'll be going along to this. So let's have a look at the guests that they've got. So they've actually started getting voice actors. They've got Kerry Sheridan, the voice of Starlight Glimmer. So she's going. And Ellie Ray Hennessy, I believe is... Who are you? I can't actually fucking know who you are. It's not good for me. I usually know special guests. Oh, she's a G5. Okay, so she's currently playing Grandma Figgy in My Little Pony G5. So that's who she plays. So I don't know, Grandma Figgy. So obviously that's Hitch's grandmother, I think. So yeah, so I've got Ellie Ray Hennessy and Kerry Sheridan will be in attendance. So she's, I'm very much more looking forward to Kerry Sheridan because I absolutely love Starlight Glimmer. She's great. So yeah, so she's done some pretty cool stuff. So very much looking forward to meeting her. But yeah, music. So let's have a look at that. Music at the con. Nothing's been announced for that yet, but there will most certainly be. Usually there is like a gig or something going on for that. Usually. So yes, there we have it. So there we have it, folks. So that is basically today's stream. I've had nobody commenting. There's been about 2 or 3 people watching while I've been live. No comments. That's fine. But once I'm no longer live, people can watch this and kind of get an idea of what the hell I'm talking about. Because when you come in at a certain point, they've missed what I was trying to talk about. So, but thank you very much for watching. So I just thought to go live and do this while I've got the time. Thank you ever so much for your time. Thank you for watching, those that maybe did while I've been on. But yeah, so this was just a way for me to kind of talk about the teaser for Chapter 5, the Misty's Cutie Mark debut. And then I wanted to just announce that I will be at UK Ponycon for the first time. So expect some videos coming to the channel. I will be doing some convention vlogs in relation to the event. I'm going to be kind of like covering everything, like going down there, traveling down. Basically, how I do things, I kind of like, I'm a bit similar to AC Race Best. No, I'm not copying AC Race Best. AC Race Best, I've got a lot of respect for him and Saberspark and a few other people that are part of his friend group. I've got a lot of respect for those guys, but I'm not copying them per se. It's just, I'm just saying my vlog experience videos are quite similar, where I kind of like, you know, I'll try and get people involved, like those that I'm going to be with. I'm going to be there with my fellow co-host Sam and also Lawrence, our mutual friend. So there'll be 3 of us going down there, so they'll be involved in the vlog. I'll also be trying to kind of capture what the essence of the convention as well, what's going on, and try and capture what's going on with it and the energy and things of that nature. So expect some videos from me in regards to UK Ponycon. That's coming up in September, end of September, I think. Let me, oops. Yes, 30th of September to the 1st of October. So, yes, keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, me and my co-host Sam will most certainly be making stuff. Obviously, the next chunk of episodes, Chapter 5, will be out in September. So I don't know how it works. I mean, hopefully we might be able to do a live stream talking about the next chunk of episodes, probably before we do the convention. I hope we can, but we'll see. I know my fellow co-host Sam, he has started a new job. He's now working full time. He's now started a new job. So I don't know when he's going to be available. I don't know if it's going to have to be if we can do it like do it on a Friday evening, as we used to do it on a Friday if we could, or if it's going to have to be a different day. But we're going to have to try and come up to some sort of an idea, and we will have to try and do another video before we go to UK Ponycon, or do something. But there's a little bit to go yet, so there's time to do stuff, and no doubt there'll be some interesting stuff, because I know there's some Comic Cons happening. I don't know if it says San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con, but we're coming up to convention season, so there's going to be a lot of information swimming around. Which so once we kind of get some information, we'll try to make some more of these for you. And yes, but thank you ever so much for watching. See you soon, everybody, and I'm back with more soon, and my fellow co-host as well. Hopefully we might try and get Lawrence involved. We might maybe do, if we do anything that is kind of pre-UK Ponycon related, like something like that, we might try and get all 3 of us on the stream, so we can all kind of like talk about it and talk about whatever. So we'll see what we can do, see what we can work out. But anyway, so thank you, bye-bye, and take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye-bye.